Yo, what's good everyone? Thank you for tuning in to today's video. If you're new around here, my name is Aiden, and in today's review we have for me one of the most exciting Air Max 1 releases to release this year. Now this shoe actually did turn out to be a little bit more difficult to get than I was initially expecting, especially with all the other Air Max 1 releases that have already released in Air Max month. But with that said, this one in particular was one that I was most looking forward to. So in today's review we will be taking a look at the Nike Air Max 1 Great Indoors. So I personally am massively excited about this one. I hope you guys are as well. So without any further ado, just sit back, relax, and let's go ahead and get straight into this video. So just like we always do before we take a look at the shoes, let's just kick this off with the packaging. And like every other Air Max one we've already taken a look at, we do just get that pretty boring red Nike sportswear box. You've seen this a bunch of times. I honestly won't be taking up too much time with the packaging. Now if we do just take a quick look at the label, which reads, we do have the women's Nike Air Max 1 87, and this is in the sail black Celestine blue colourway, and is a personal pair as it is a UK size 9. Now this is actually a women's specific release, that's why we do have the men's size 9 and then the 11.5 for the US, which is the size conversion. I'm not going to touch on all that until later on in the video, but do stay tuned for the sizing. And then if we do actually open up the box itself, on the inside we just have your pretty standard tissue paper. But then underneath that, we have what we came for, so let's go ahead and get straight into the shoes. So without any further ado, the moment we've all been waiting for, in hand we have the Nike Air Max 1 Great Indoors. Now, I will be honest, the name is actually tripping me up a little bit because for the last 6 months, I've actually been calling these the wild animals. Now, if you are actually plugged into any news outlets like Sneaker News or Soul Supplier or anything else like that, we've actually seen mock-up images for these about 6 months ago, and every news outlet actually called these the wild animals. I don't know why the name's changed to Great Indoors, but that's kind of neither here nor there. So if I do actually refer to this shoe as the wild animals throughout this video, just bear with me, just one of those things. Now this is definitely a shoe that ever since I first saw the initial mock-up images, I knew I wanted it. It's very outlandish, it's very bright, it's definitely going to be a good conversation starter. So ever since I first saw it, I knew I had to have it. I kind of half expected that it would actually be a lot easier to get than it actually was. Like most Air Max 1s that have released this month, I was half expecting that this shoe was actually going to sit. I don't know why it didn't. There's a lot of other releases that did. Yes, this is definitely a lot more out there than a lot of the other ones we've seen, but I will be honest, I was very surprised to see how quickly these did sell out.
Shut up and take my money!
Now, I personally did try on sneakers, didn't get them. Tried on every other raffle, didn't get them. But fortunately enough for me, the Hip store based in Manchester did actually have some sizes available, and I was able to get these, which actually just turned out to be quite a good bit of luck because I do actually think some people are actually reselling these for a fair bit more over retail. Now, if you are tuning into this video today to decide if it is actually worth that investment, in this review, I'm actually going to be telling you everything that you need to know, from materials through to sizing, so by the end of this video, you can decide for yourself whether this is something you want for your own personal collection as well. So just diving straight into this one, starting out with the upper to begin with, and for this one, we do actually see a wide array of different materials and colours, including some earth tone, along with some very unique patterning, all of which is actually supposedly inspired by upscale boutiques and even area rugs. I will be honest, I wasn't really sure what to make of that, but that's just what I read on the sneakers write-up, so we can make of that what we will. For the time being, if we kick this off from the front of the shoe and we'll gradually work our way back. So at the base of the shoe, we do have this very nice, soft to the touch, premium, silk-like textile material making up the toe box. Now the toe box detailing is actually one of my favourite details throughout this entire shoe, as it does actually feature this really nice intricate patterning, which does also incorporate the Nike swoosh as well, a very nice touch in my opinion. And then wrapping around the toe box on the mudguard, we do have our first animal print with the cowhide. Now I was first initially just going to assume that it was like a suede or a nubuck material, but when I actually got these in hand and I actually noticed that it's actually have a cracked leather effect, I will be honest, it kind of blew my mind. I really wasn't expecting it whatsoever. But seeing it and feeling that really odd rough texture to it, definitely adds a different element to the shoe that I personally wasn't expecting. I love the cowhide. It's actually drawn references to what Concepts did with the Concepts pack. I can definitely see what people are getting at, but overall I do actually feel like they've gone with a slightly different take on it, and overall with it being a different material, it can stand on its own merit as well. So overall, definitely thought that was a really nice touch. But as we then continue to work our way further back the upper and actually jump into some more of the details, on the U-throw, just like what we saw with the mudguard, we do have that exact same cowhide detailing, and the material itself does have that same cracked leather effect to it. In the midfoot portion, we then have another slight shake-up with this very nice, soft to the touch, lightly textured sail leather in the midfoot portion. And then in the middle of the midfoot, we do have our second animal print with this tiger stripe detailing featured on the Nike swoosh. Now the swoosh itself, I do believe is actually done from a nubuck material, but don't take my word for it. I will be honest, I'm not 100% sure. And then from there, as we do work our way onto the ankle collar, we'll start off with the eye stays to begin with. Now the eye stays themselves have been constructed from this icy blue TPU material. And then around the eye stays themselves, we do have this icy blue leather. Again, a very nice touch for me. From there, as we then work our way onto the ankle collar, we do have this black silky liner. And that is the exact same with the sock liner of the shoe as well. And as we then continue to work our way even further back onto the heel, again, we do actually see more really nice details. Now, in the middle of the heel itself, we do have this textile material, which does also incorporate this paisley design. And I will be honest, as soon as I saw it, the first thing that sprung to mind was actually Will's blazer from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Maybe that's just my take on it, but I absolutely love that detail. Definitely executed very well in my opinion. And then in the middle of the heel itself, we do have that black embroidered Nike branding looking very nice as always. Now, when it does come to the lacing options for this one, we do actually get two different sets of laces. Now, the laces that come in the shoe to begin with are these black velvet shoelaces. But if you're not really feeling how they look or feel, we do actually get a second set of sail laces. And they are slightly different as these are flat laces and these have more of a rope type of feel. For me personally, I'm not really feeling either that much. There's nothing wrong with either lace option, but for me, I do just think a flat shoelace in a sail or a white colour is going to go the longest way. So that's probably what I'm going to go with. I will be honest, I'm a little bit lazy with lace swaps, so I could very well just leave it as it is. But overall, for me personally, white or sail, regular flat shoelace is definitely the best way in my opinion. And then beneath the laces themselves, we do have more of that tiger stripe detailing featured on the base of the tongue itself. As we then work our way up to the top of the tongue, we then have a white or sail tongue tag, which does also feature that Nike Air Max branding. And from there, as we do work our way even further onto the inside of the shoe, just like what we saw with the swooshes as well as the tongue. Again, we do see that tiger stripe detailing featured on the insole, and it does also feature that Nike Air branding in that really nice sail colour, a very nice touch once again. And then just to close that in terms of the details, as we do work our way down to the midsole, we do have a polyurethane midsole with that visible air unit towards the heel, and the midsole itself has been painted in sail to match up with what we saw with the midfoot. From there, as we then work our way onto the outsole, we do have your traditional Air Max 1 style of outsole with that waffle design, and the outsole itself has been done in this very nice block icy blue colour, a very nice touch in my opinion. And then when it does come to the overall sizing for these, I just went with my natural true to size fit, which for me is a UK size 9. That's exactly the same with both men's and women's releases, and just like every other Air Max 1 we picked up this year, this fits me just like any other Air Max 1. So I'm just going to suggest you just go with your regular natural true to size fit in whatever you typically wear. Now of course there is a slight size conversion, so for example, if like me you are a UK size 9 but you're buying these abroad, say for example in America, you may actually have to do a slight size conversion. So if you are looking for US sizing, just add 2.5 sizes to your natural size. So again, UK size 9 becomes a US 11.5. That way you are making sure you are getting the best sizing for you. Now, as I was saying a little bit at the beginning of the video, these definitely seem to be a lot harder to get in person and in store. So if you are looking to order these online, again, just to finish off, true to size is definitely going to be your best bet. And then outside of that, we've covered everything that you need to know. So if we now just go ahead and just wrap up this video. So just to wrap up this video, so you guys can get out of here, in terms of my overall opinion on the shoe itself, to give these a rating, I'm going to say these are a very solid 9 out of 10. I honestly like these a lot more in person than I was actually expecting. I think all the little details actually complement the other details throughout the shoe, so the cowhide to the tiger stripes, to the paisley on the heel. Even though I'm not a massive fan of the black velvet laces, it ties in very well with what we see with this silky liner. And I think overall, this shoe has been executed absolutely beautifully. I personally am a massive fan of these, very glad I was able to get my hands on them, and very fortunate that I was actually able to get them for retail. So again, the Hip Store, huge shout out to you guys, because honestly, I'm very, very glad to be adding these into the personal collection. Can't wait to pull these out over spring and summer. Unfortunately, the weather's still a little bit up and down at the minute, so gonna have to throw these in the crates for the time being, but overall, very, very happy to have these. I would love to get your guys' opinion on it as well, so do let me know what you think of my rating. Let me know what yours is as well, and any other thoughts, do make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, if you have stuck around to this point in the video, I do just want to say a massive thank you. If you haven't already, please feel free to smash that subscribe button. Also, do make sure the bell notification is switched on, so you never miss a video. And I hope to see you all again in the next one. Peace.